Hi everybody and welcome to Shivers. Today we're doing a review of the new Scream film that came out, Scream 6, which just came out a few weeks ago. Scream 6 immediately follows Scream 5, which was the first new Scream film in the franchise since Scream 4 in 2011. Scream 5 follows sisters Tara and Sam as they live their pretty normal lives. Throughout the Scream 5 film, we find out that Sam, the older sister, is actually the daughter of Billy Loomis, one of the original killers from Scream 1. Once word gets out about this, people in the town begin dying, primarily Tara's high school friends, and we end Scream 5 with a dead Dewey, the killer being revealed as Sam's boyfriend, who was only her boyfriend because he was absolutely obsessed with Billy Loomis, the Stab franchise, and Scream as we know it. Sam kills her boyfriend, and she and Tara flee Woodsboro and move to New York City, where Tara and her remaining friends begin college, and Sam does her best to control her serial killer urges and her secrets that are still trending on Reddit, with people blaming her for being the latest Woodsboro killer and getting away with it by blaming her ex-boyfriend. Word gets out quickly that Sam is in New York City, and of course the killings begin again. Sam and Tara have a roommate whose father is a detective with the NYPD, and he grabs hold of a case that involves the two of them, revealing that the Scream Killer is back and is using old, real evidential Scream masks to commit different murders around the city, getting closer and closer to Sam and Tara at each kill. Over the course of the 3 days these killings take place, and after the roommate is killed, the roommate's father is taken off of the case, obviously because his daughter is now dead. Kirby from Scream 4 is now an FBI agent and is put on the case as she is the closest to the Woodsboro gang. With the help of our normal investigative journalist, Gail Weathers, the group finds an old movie theater that the killer is using to house evidence and from the old murders and memorabilia from the Stab movies, making it a haven for horror fans and quote-unquote true crime fans alike. On the main stage, we see mannequins with the Scream cloaks on, but each of their masks are off, aside from one final one, the mask that Billy Loomis wore to commit the very first murders. After a massive showdown in the movie theater, we find out that Sam and Tara's roommate faked her own death, and she, her father, the guy who's in the New York Police Department, and her brother have been committing these murders because they had another brother who died at the hands of Sam, her ex-boyfriend from Scream 5. They've been able to get all of these authentic masks out of police evidence with the father's help, and their plan has been to kill Sam all along to get their vengeance on their missing family member, saying, "No one messes with our family," and cliche things like that. Of course, Sam and Tara battle it out, and Sam puts on her father's mask to murder each of the family members and end it all. Sam, Tara, Kirby, Gail, and 2 of Tara's friends make it out alive. So based on the Shivers scale, on a scale of 1 to 5, for the story itself, I would definitely give it a 5 out of 5. I think Scream in general is one of the most original and creative movies ever made, let alone created for the horror franchise in general. So, of course, the story itself would get a 5 out of 5. For originality, though, I would probably give this one a 3 out of 5. I think that being able to continue on the Scream franchise is great, but it's the same story over and over and over again. And for this one in particular to be tied to Scream 5, there's not much of a discrepancy other than the big ending that her ex-boyfriend had family members who wanted to kill her. So, but I don't think that that's necessarily something that would make it this huge twist or something that is the most original film I've ever seen. So for that, I'll give it a respectful 3 out of 5. For the acting, definitely a 5 out of 5. I mean, these are professional actors who know what they're doing. For the production itself, also a 5 out of 5. This is a Paramount movie. This is a big movie with a big budget, and everything looks very authentic. The teens are in a subway at one point, and it looks as though they're in a subway. I wouldn't know if they were on a set or whether they were actually on a New York City subway. So being able to have details like that, and even sitting on a college campus, I mean, these are things that make you believe that they are actually in New York City and all of these things are happening. For the scares, I would not say in general that Scream is a scary franchise, but for this one, all of the kills that were very gruesome, very bloody, very aggressive. For example, one of Tara's new friends from college, gets her stomach cut, and she's still alive, leaking blood everywhere, and she's attempting to walk across the ladder to get to the opposite side of the building to get away from the killer, and she falls off of a ladder and smacks her face on top of this garbage can, and her face is all distorted, and now you see her face, her dead body on the ground, her stomach's all out, and the makeup to go into that is incredible, but that is just like, oh my god, we haven't seen this before. So in general, I wouldn't necessarily say it's scary, but on a scale of 1 to 5 for scares, I'll give it a 4, just solely based on the gruesomeness of the murders. So getting our total score based off of all of that, we get a 4.4 out of 5, which is a very good score. Overall, I would say I was pleasantly surprised by this movie, and it definitely exceeded my expectations. I thought that killing Dewey in Scream 5 would be the end-all be-all, but being able to continue the story of Sam and Tara seamlessly from movie to movie in a new city, where all of that stuff actually did work, made it believable, but also really showed the dark sides to true crime and horror fans, thinking about the idea of how far would you go to star in your own horror movie. Even the NYPD father of Sam's ex-boyfriend is talking about how much as a kid he loved Stab and the franchise and was obsessed with Billy Loomis, and how he was always very afraid of what his son could possibly do. And so talking about a father and a parent who's afraid of their kid who likes horror and what they're capable of, things like that, I think also puts a different perspective on how a lot of parents look at people like us who like scary movies. So it's a good way to put a little bit of reality into a film and think about how people really do perceive it. So I would definitely recommend this movie and think it's worth a watch, but you do definitely have to watch Scream 5 before you watch Scream 6. So that is all for the review today. If you have watched Scream 6 or any of the Scream films in the franchise, please put your thoughts and comments below. Let me know what you think, what you would rate Scream 6 at, and share any other thoughts that you may have. So thank you for listening. Appreciate it, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend.